In the heart of medieval England, nestled among the green, rolling hills of Suffolk, midway between the towns of Bury St. Edmunds and Stowmarket, lies the quiet village of Woolpit. Even its name, which is derived from an Old English phrase meaning pit for trapping wolves, hints at a history rich with both danger and mystery. Yet, in the 12th century, this unassuming village had become the stage for one of the most bizarre and inexplicable events in recorded history. The medieval chronicles of Ralph of Coggeshall and William of Newburgh recounted a tale so strange, so haunting, that it has puzzled historians, folklorists, and scientists for centuries. Welcome to Storyteller's Hearth Fireside Tales, where legends come alive by the glow of the fire. Tonight, we share the story of Woolpit's greatest mystery, a tale that will transport you back to a time of unrest, where the shadows of the forest held real danger, and the line between myth and reality was sometimes blurred. So, settle in, let the warmth of our hearth embrace you, and allow your imagination to wander back to an age of wonder and intrigue. If you enjoy our tales, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Storyteller's Hearth Fireside Tales. Your support helps us keep the fire burning and the stories flowing. Now, let us begin. The legend of the Green Children of Woolpit. It was an age when the world was still veiled in superstition and wonder, a time when the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural were often blurred, a time when revenants, animated corpses, were seen to rise from their graves to haunt the living. Against this mysterious backdrop, the villagers of Woolpit lived simple lives, tending to their fields and livestock, completely unaware that their quiet, unassuming existence was about to be shattered by an encounter with something utterly inexplicable. One day, as the villagers went about their daily chores, one of them made a discovery that would forever change their lives. Near the mouth of a wolf pit dug to trap the wolves that roamed the countryside, they found two very frightened children, a boy and a girl huddled together. Their skin was pale green, their clothes made of an unusual coarse cloth, unlike anything the villagers had ever seen. And yet, in every other way, they looked normal. They spoke in a guttural, incomprehensible language. They stared timidly at the villagers, their eyes wide with terror and confusion. This is the story of the Green Children of Woolpit, a medieval mystery that has captivated imaginations for centuries. Were they fairies, aliens, or something else entirely? Join us as we delve into this enigmatic, haunting account, exploring its historical roots, its eerie details, and the many theories that have attempted to solve this puzzle. The year was approximately 1150, during the tumultuous reign of King Stephen, a time when England was gripped by a civil war of succession between Empress Matilda and her cousin, Stephen of Blois. The village of Woolpit, like many others, was a place of hardship and toil, where survival depended on the whims of nature, the fortunes of war, and the strength of the community. It was on an ordinary day, as the villagers toiled in the fields and tended to their animals, that an extraordinary event occurred. Near the edge of the village, where the forest met the farmland, a group of villagers stumbled upon two strange children. They were crouched near the wolf pit, their green skin glistening in the sunlight, their eyes wide with fear. The villagers were stunned. Who were these children? Where had they come from? And why were they green? The children, who turned out to be brother and sister, were brought back to Sir Richard de Cane's house at Wilkes, where they were met with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. Sir Richard offered the hungry children food and water, but they refused to eat. They seemed repulsed by the bread, meat, and simple vegetables placed before them. It wasn't until someone offered them raw beans that they finally began to devour all they were offered, reaching for the pods as if it might be their last meal. The villagers sent for the monks at a nearby monastery to attempt to communicate with the children, but their language was completely unknown even to them, a series of sounds and strange syllables that none of the monks understood. The children, for their part, seemed equally bewildered by their surroundings. They stared at the villagers with a mixture of fear and wonder, as if they had been thrust into a world that was utterly alien to them. Over time, the children slowly began to adapt to their new environment. They learned to speak English, and as their language skills improved, they began to share their story. What they revealed was as astonishing as it was perplexing. The children claimed to come from a place called St. Martin's Land, a twilight realm where the sun never completely rose, and the light was perpetually dull. They described their homeland as a strange, subterranean world, where everything was tinged with the same green hue as their skin. Yet the land was lush and fertile, with fields of beans and other crops, but the sky was black, illuminated only by a faint, diffused light. The children said they had been tending their father's animals when they heard a loud, resonant sound, like the ringing of bells. Drawn to the noise, they followed it into a dark, cavernous tunnel, eventually emerging into the bright sunlight of Woolpit. Disoriented and blinded by the bright light, they had stumbled around in the woods until they were found by the villagers. The villagers listened in awe, trying to make sense of the children's tale. Was St. Martin's Land the hidden fairy realm, a wondrous place where magic and mystery were said to exist just beyond the veil of the known world? Or was it something else entirely? The children's story seemed so fantastical, so beyond the realm of ordinary experience, that it was hard for them to know what to believe. Despite the villagers' efforts to care for the children, the boy grew increasingly weak and ill. His green skin, once vibrant, began to fade to a pallid gray, as he became steadily more listless and withdrawn. The villagers tried everything to save him, but it was of no use. He died shortly after being baptized in St. Mary's Church, leaving his sister alone in this strange new world. The girl, however, adapted quite well to her new life. As she began to eat normal food, her green hue gradually faded, and she grew into a healthy, vibrant young woman. She learned the ways of the village, working alongside other women as a domestic servant in the household of Sir Richard. However, because her behavior around one of the village boys was frowned upon and considered unbecoming, she became labeled as loose and wanton in her conduct. Eventually, she married a man from the nearby village of King's Lynn, and is known to have had a family. But to the end of her days, she remained haunted by her origins. Even though she spoke little of St. Martin's Land, when she did, her words were tinged with a sense of loss and longing. Despite finding a place in this world, it was clear to everyone part of her still yearned for the twilight realm and her family she had left behind. It is thought likely that some of her descendants still live near the village of Woolpit to this day, but nobody can say exactly which ones for sure. The story of the Green Children of Woolpit has puzzled scholars for centuries. What are we to make of this strange tale? Is it a fairy story, reflecting medieval beliefs about the otherworld and its inhabitants? Or is it something else entirely? Was it perhaps a historical event that has been distorted by time and retelling? Canon William of Newburgh, in his Historia Rerum Anglicarum, History of English Affairs, between 1195 and 1198, wrote, "However, of those green children, who are said to have emerged from the earth, the explanation is so much more obscure that the frailty of our perception is not adequate to unearth it." Ralph, sixth abbot of nearby monastery, wrote, "No one was able to understand their speech. therefore taken to the home at Wykes of the Lord Richard de Calne, a sort of knight, possibly meaning a married member of the Knights Templars. To be wondered at, they wept inconsolably. Bread and other common foods were offered to them, but they did not wish to be nourished by any food which was brought to them, so for a long time they were tormented by great hunger, because they believed all the food of that place to be inedible, as the girl later admitted. Scholars have confirmed that because Woolpit held a major market, the villagers were likely to have been somewhat conversant with most European languages, including Latin and also Yiddish, because of the Jewish community that lived in town. One theory suggested the children were Flemish immigrants who during the 12th century had faced persecution and resettled in England. Maybe they had become separated from their family and somehow both acquired green skin. Others proposed the children suffered from hypochromic anemia, a condition caused by iron deficiency and results in symptoms of pale, dry skin that bruises easily. This, combined with their unfamiliar clothing and language, they submit, might explain their otherworldly appearance. More modern interpretations have even suggested that the children were extraterrestrial beings, their strange appearance and language evidence of an otherworldly origin. Could St. Martin's Land have been another planet or parallel universe, and the tunnel they described a wormhole or portal? Whatever the truth, the legend of the Green Children remains one of the most enduring, enigmatic mysteries of medieval folklore. It's a tale that challenges our understanding of history, science, and the very nature of reality. The Green Children of Woolpit may never be fully explained, but their story continues to captivate and intrigue. It's a tale of the unknown, a reminder that even in our modern world, there are mysteries that defy explanation. This has been a Storyteller's Hearth Fireside Tale. If you enjoyed this journey into the shadowy, mysterious past of medieval England, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tales of the unexplained. And let us know in the comments, what do you think happened to the Green Children? Until next time, stay curious and remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.